little town, it's a quiet village. Every day, like the one before. Little town with those little people waking up to say it's time for the Tony's Review. Hey! It's the CoverBoi Chronicles Tony's Review. Thank you so much for watching this video. And so, let's just jump right into what happened that night. Now, yes, this is not all of the list of people that were awarded that night, but this is just a quick list that I conjured up, okay? So, let's go ahead and talk about the best play. The best play was All the Way, and I felt like it was well deserved considering the other components, but honestly, quite frankly, it was well deserved. Like, Bryan Cranston is an amazing, tremendous actor, and there are several. The company that came together for it, amaze. You guys rock 10 times 4. Okay. Best musical was A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, and I have been to the point where I went out, got the book, and I'm considering buying it on DVD. At first I was a little shaky about it when I heard about it, and then I was like, oh, okay, because I keep up on my Broadway, so I was like, okay, we can do this. So I'm gonna watch it, and then I'll let you guys know how I'm feeling about it afterwards on some type of other review. Best revival play was Raisin in the Sun, or Raisin in the Sun. Honestly, like, you don't, of course, like, that goes without saying, like, Raisin in the Sun is such a is like a very dramatic and very suspense-filled play, all in its own right. So for it to be the best revival play is just no surprise to me. So let's see. The best revival musical was Hedrick and the Angry Inch. And honestly, quite frankly, for me, I love me any type of story about a drag queen. Granted, I'm not a drag queen. I do not want to be a drag queen. I do not knock drag queens who do that as an everyday life. But, I mean, hey, don't knock it till you try it. So, that's how I feel about that. Best book of a musical, or best book of a musical went to A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. And that, honestly, from the first few pages of the book, is actually pretty good. So I haven't gotten like all in depth into the book yet, so I'll be giving you like a full report of whether that was really right or not. But honestly, from what I've seen the previews of it, it's a really, really good book. So yeah, you guys probably should go out and get that. Best original score written for the theater was Bridges of Madison County, and quite frankly, it's not beautiful. I honestly felt like it should have been beautiful, just because like there were a lot of great songs in that particular play. So, like, granted, they weren't written for the theater, but they were written for the musical. So, they weren't exactly written for the play or the musical per se, but they were written before then. So, I do believe that some of it was partially well deserved, partially. And it's not like it's the Cinepika and the Santa Fe. Just an old school Oscars original score for you. Best performance by a leading actor went to Bryan Cranston for All the Way. Now, needless to say, like I said before, He had just finished Breaking Bad. I believe he got an Emmy for that. I believe he did get his Golden Globe for it. I'm not for sure if he got a SAG for it or not. But I mean, hey, he was at least nominated. I do know that. Best performance by a leading actress in a play was Audrey McDonald, and quite frankly, that was well deserved. Like, whenever a woman can embody Lady Day in New York, where like those were basically her stomping grounds. Like, I've done several reports on Billie Holiday, so I will tell you those were her stomping grounds. And it's just, honestly, any woman who can embody that woman, kudos to you, congratulations. I'm glad you got the Tony for it. So that's your stamp of approval that you are that. Okay. Best performance by a leading actor in a musical went to Neil Patrick Harris for Hedrick and the Angry Itch. And quite frankly, I mean, honestly, everybody loves the way Neil Patrick Harris does, like when he hosts performances, and when he hosts or when he performs and does all that great stuff that he does theatrically. So when he actually embodied a drag queen doing a whole bunch of great things, like, oh my god, he was off the walls with his performance. Like, oh my god, 10s across the board, I will say that. Best performance by a lead actress in a musical went to Jessie Mueller for Beautiful, the Carole King musical. And honestly, I was really happy when they made this into a musical. And after they made it into a musical, I'm like, okay, is it going to be a movie now? So like, this has kept me wanting more. And then I ain't gonna speak on that, but you know, there's other things that were going around that era. So I believe that, you know, they should make this into a movie. So the best performance by a featured actor in a play went to Mark Rylance for The Twelfth Night, and that is a very deep play. It's cool, it has its high moments and its low moments, but mainly it's all deep if you're thinking about it, okay? Now, the best featured actress in a play. I cannot pronounce her name. I do know, however, she was the princess in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Her name is Sophie Okinwendo. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. But she was in Raisin in the Sun with Anika Nunny and Latasha Richardson and Denzel Washington. And so kudos to you. If you are with a phenomenal cast and you get nominated and you win, and Onika was nominated with her, so it was like, cross your fingers, girl, cross your fingers, girl. And then you got the Tony. So congrats. Best performance by a featured actor in a musical went to James Monroe. He got for Aladdin. And me personally, I didn't feel like Aladdin should have been put into a musical or a play, and especially not on Broadway. I'll explain my reasons when I talk about the performance. Okay? Last one of the night, best performance by an actress featured in a musical went to Lena Hoff for Hedrick and the Angry Itch, which I was told when it was first being thought of that it was a solo act. Like, it wouldn't be really that many people co-starring with her or with him. So now I gotta give Hugh Jackman some shout out because I like the way he hosted. He was an amazing host, and his opening was 10 times better than what I thought it was going to be. So for that, I put him with the grades, and I gave him a grade. it wasn't a bad grade, but it wasn't a good grade. It was like I couldn't make a decision because I didn't want to give him the first 10 of the night, but I didn't want to give him a really bad grade. So I'll let you guys make that decision, okay? After midnight, I felt like, honestly, when you get Fantasia, Gladys Knight, and Patti LaBelle sing like the Doo-Wop sisters, you get 10s across the board. So they got the first 10 of the night. And it's not because of that. It's just, honestly, quite frankly, for me, as theatrical and as creative as I am, I honestly feel like that was my time period that I missed out on. So that's all I really got to say about that. Les Mis to us theater folk, or thespians. That's really all we would really call it. Whether it's the play, or whether it's the musical, whether it's the musical, or whether it's the musical on Broadway or on TV, I love it, and it makes me cry every time. So I had to give them 10s. Aladdin. Now, y'all know the You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me is the best part of the animated movie. So they did it live, and I'm like, granted, the guy who was singing it, he was great. He was great, and he played the genie so well. I love it. Thank you for embodying the genie. But Disney, this is the message from the CoverBoi. Do not ever make, unless you're going to make Sleeping Beauty, do not do The Little Mermaid. Do not do, I'm not saying do the Sleeping Beauty first and then The Little Mermaid next. No. I'm saying stop making Disney Broadway musicals, period. Granted, you got The Lion King, you've got Beauty and the Beast, you've got now Aladdin. Do something else. If then, that was Idina Menzel's performance, and for me, I wanted her to perform first. Like, I really did, because I honestly was wanting her to perform quite some time. But I love her voice. She's an amazing actress, like all around Broadway, or she's just an all around actress. Love her heart and all her parts, honey. Rocky. Now, when I first heard Rocky was being brought to Broadway, I thought that was a joke. I'm going to keep it real. I thought Rocky was a joke. That, I honestly thought it was a joke. And then I gave it some time, thought about it, saw a few previews. It's actually pretty good. So, I mean, and I'm a big Rocky fan. Like, I love me some Rocky, even though it's based off of Muhammad Ali. But, you know, that's just how it is. Moving on. Cabaret. For me, I love Cabaret. I love Cabaret. I've always loved Cabaret. The fact that they got the original person who did it when it was first brought to Broadway, and they got him to do it, you know, some odd years later, is amazing and cool, and it shocks the hell out of me that they would pull something off like that. But I mean, hell, nothing shocks me in Broadway. Nothing. Well, one thing did shock me. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Now, I thought about the book so much I bought it. But this performance made me want to go buy the book and consider buying the DVD of the musical. You see what I'm saying? Like, I could not stop thinking about it after I watched it. It was just like, you guys are badass actors. Like, come on now, y'all. Y'all better get y'all 10s for the company. So, I give the company their 10s and a standing ovation. I would stand, but it's too much. Hedrick and the Angry Itch. Now, granted, he was on fire on that stage. He was on fire. Like, honestly, everybody got 10s on their performances. The only ones that really didn't was Rocky. Honestly, Rocky. Rocky and Aladdin. Those both were 9.5. Yeah, everybody else got 10s. I'll just let you know that. Everybody else got 10s. But back to what I was talking about, Hedrick, I felt like he went and started jugging or lap dancing on Sting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, that's all I can say was, oh my god. Like, why? Why? But I just, anyway, moving on. Violet, that made me go to church. That made me just love attending my church couchside missionary tabernacle of Latter-day Saints, honey. You better know it. Last ship Sting performed, and he wrote that song specifically for that play, so I believe that was definitely well deserved. And it's good to know that people from back in the day in the 80s and all that jazz are still doing their thing. So now, Wicked, as many times as it's been on and off Broadway and revitalized and things of that nature, I honestly wouldn't have expected it to be at the Tonys this year, because it's always on Broadway. It's one of the things that you know you can go to Broadway and be like, when is Wicked here? Let me book some stuff for that. Beautiful was absolutely every word that it embodies. Beautiful. Okay? It was absolutely spectacular, wonderful. I couldn't stop. I just could not. I couldn't. Bullets Over Broadway. You guys know that I'm a big Godfather, The Last Don, Casino, Mobsters. Like, I love my Harlem Nights, The Cotton Club. The list goes on. I love them all. Scarface, I love them all. So when you put that on Broadway, that is amazing. So I definitely will be buying that DVD. Now, Finding Neverland, from what I'm told, is not on Broadway just yet, because this is another version of Peter Pan, and you guys know that Peter Pan has already been on Broadway several times, and I believe Julie Andrews was Peter a long time ago. On Broadway. For me, I didn't like the fact that Jennifer Hudson, she's not in the play, so why would you guys perform it just because it's the Tonys? Idina Menzel, the point of Broadway is to prove that not only are you a great actor, but you are a true 100% thespian. So I don't think that Jennifer has embodied that yet, because she's not been on Broadway yet. Fantasia has. She just got back to Broadway for After Midnight because she did The Color Purple. So, just saying. Then the closing number was really cute. It had all the people who won and stuff of that nature. So, instead of running my credits like I normally do, the hashtags and this, let me go ahead and do that. Tweet the show, New Cover Lovers, CoverBoi Chronicles, my like page, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Be sure to like, comment, and y'all know what to do, subscribe. Now it's time for my closing numbers. We didn't make forever. We each have to go our separate ways. And now we're standing here helpless, looking for something to say. We've been together a long time. We never thought it would end. We were always so close to each other, and you were always my friend. And it's hard to say goodbye, my love. Hard to see you cry, my love. Hard to open up that door when you're not sure what you're going for. Okay, you guys. Bye.